information regarding the author and the details of his book, like year of publication, the publisher of the book, and the central idea on the book. These points are important in the point of net and set examinations. They could also be useful for competitive exams in literature and any literature-based entrance exam. Now, before getting into the points, please do subscribe to my channel Learn Easy. Here I'll be posting my videos regarding English literature and history of English literature. Now let's get back into the information. My current video is on Charles Dickens novels. Most of the novels were released as movies or TV serials. He belonged to the Victorian era. He focused on the social evils and wrote about the troubled childhood. Let us look at the first novel, Pickwick Papers. Pickwick Papers, it deals with the story of four people going on travel. Pickwick Papers was originally presented as a society for gathering and spreading of scientific knowledge. The protagonist here is Mr. Pickwick, who undertakes his travel to collect curiosities and examine local customs. But he is a little unfortunate because he suffers in the hands of his landlady. She sues Pickwick for the breach of promise, and he is forced to go to debtor's prison as he refuses to pay damages. The next one is Oliver Twist. Oliver Twist speaks about a troubled child, Oliver Twist. He escapes from the terrible place, an orphanage, and gets in touch with the artful Dodger, a leader of the juvenile pickpocketers gang. Here, he is trained to be a pocketer, and Oliver, though innocent, becomes a part of the crime. He is caught in the first attempt of pickpocket while the others escape. Mr. Brownlow, a kind gentleman who was the victim of the theft, rescues Oliver from the arrest. He feels pity on Oliver and takes him to his house. Oliver sees for the first time happiness in his life. Mrs. Bread nurses him back to life. The next one is Nicholas Nickleby. Nicholas Nickleby is a young, compassionate man who struggles to save his family and friends from the exploitation of his cold hearted uncle. After the death of his father, he needs to struggle to make a living. In this novel, Dickens wanted to highlight the horrors of Yorkshire notorious boarding schools where the parents leave their unwanted children for an indefinite period. The next one, Old Curiosity Shop. Old Curiosity Shop again speaks about the small child Nell. Nell does not have her parents. She, being a small child, lives with her grandfather. She has no friends of her age, and only friend is Kit, a young boy and honest employee who works in their shop. Nell's grandfather loves her a lot, so to make good money, he resolves to gambling, in which he loses to uh, the shop to Mr. Quillet, who is an evil-minded person. Nell and her grandfather roam in nearby places in London begging. They finally arrive in a quiet town. Everything now seems to be going good on well, but Nell is always sad and lonely. She spends her time in the cemetery. Soon she dies there. The next one is Barnby Rudge. Barnby Rudge is a case of mistaken identity where Barnby Rudge is the intellectually disabled son of a murderer and is arrested as a leader of mob of anti-Catholics. He is jailed and sentenced to death. The next one is Martin Chuzzlewit. Martin Chuzzlewit is a story of a rich old man who hires a nurse to take care of himself. The grandson of the old man falls in love with the nurse. The other family members will be waiting for the old man's death. The next one is Dombey and Son. Dombey is the owner of a shipping company who longs for a son and rejects his daughter's love. Later, he reconciles with her. The next one is David Copperfield. David Copperfield is a narration that runs in the first person. The protagonist looks into his past. The protagonist here is raised by his mother and her devoted housekeeper, Clara Pacotti. The next one is Bleak House. Bleak House, this is a case of a Gerondis and Gerondis family which has gone on for the generations. and becomes complicated. No one knows what the case is. The current issue concerns two young wards to the court, Adakle and Richard Caston, who tried to seek permission to take up the property. The next one is hard times. Hard times, Thomas Grandin, a wealthy rich man, lives in an industrial city and devotes his time to rationalism. And he wants to raise his children with the thoughts of rationalism, which impacts his children's emotional health. The next one is Little Dorrit. Little Dorrit, again here, Amy and her family's world is transformed when their boss son, Arthur Clanman, returns from overseas to solve his family legacy. He discovers that their lives are interlinked with Little Dorrit, who was born in Marshalsea Prison in London. The next one is Tale of Two Cities. The main idea of Tale of Two Cities is the concept of resurrection of characters. This is brought metamorphically to life throughout the novel. Dr. Mavitt is freed from the prison at the beginning. Carton is spiritually resurrected at the end of the novel through his sacrifice. The last one is Great Expectations. The Great Expectations reflects the change of Britain in the 19th century where people moving from countryside to town that pursue their education. This has influenced change in the legal system. Great Expectations is also a childhood, young adult periods of Pip, a blacksmith's apprentice in a countryside. The theme of the novel is affection, loyalty are more important than social advancement in the society. Please do subscribe, learn easy. Thank you.